It's one of the craziest stories. You won't even believe it until I tell you. I didn't believe it. And it's not even so much what happened to him when he was alive. It's what happened to him after he died in Boot Hill. Isn't that cool? You know why they call it Boot Hill? Pretty sure it's because they buried them with their boots on. One shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Old West outlaws buried all together. Hey y'all, today we are in Guthrie, Oklahoma, in a very old cemetery. There's a lot of Old West outlaws that are buried here. In today's video, the reason why we came up to Guthrie, Oklahoma, we are in search of a man by the name of Elmer McCurdy. He has one of the craziest stories. You won't even believe it until I tell you. I didn't believe it. And it's not even so much what happened to him when he was alive. It's what happened to him after he died. And the journey his corpse went on for years. We're gonna tell that story today and visit his grave and maybe even find some other Old West outlaws that are buried here. There's at least 5 of them. Elmer J. McCurdy was born in Maine, didn't have the best childhood, kind of became a drifter, drifting throughout the United States. 1907, he goes and joins the Army. And what is he trained in? He's trained somewhat in explosives. And that would get him into the outlaw lifestyle. 1911, that's when his famous shootout would happen and his life would end. But as we'll find out coming up, that is just the beginning of Elmer's story. Like I said in the beginning of the video, what would happen to his corpse? Well, that's where his journey begins. In Boot Hill. Isn't that cool? You know why they call it Boot Hill? Pretty sure it's because they buried them with their boots on. At least so I heard. Ladies and gentlemen, Old West outlaw, Elmer McCurdy. It's right below us, and there's a boot right there. Mr. Elmer McCurdy, shot by sheriff's posse in Osage Hills, if I'm pronouncing that right, on October 7th, 1911. Returned to Guthrie, Oklahoma from Los Angeles County, California for burial April 22nd, 1977. Which we will discuss, and this is kind of where our story's gonna go. You see, he died 1911, but he was not buried here until 77. So it's a pretty messed up story, but I'm excited to tell you what happened. So after he died here, sheriff's posse in Oklahoma, and when he went to be embalmed, it was so well done. They used arsenic based chemicals that preserved him so well. That was the first thing. 1, 2, nobody came to claim his body. Plus nobody paid for these funeral services. So what did the undertaker, if you will call it, do? They made a exhibit out of his corpse. So to make it look realistic, wow, it's windy. Hope you can hear me. But what the undertaker did, he literally dressed his corpse up, propped him up with a gun, and put his corpse on display. If that wasn't crazy enough, it gets even worse. Even more crazy than you would think. And when I say it gets even worse, this is exactly how. It was over decades that Elmer McCurdy's mummified remains basically traveled around the country, traveled with different carnivals, sideshows, museums, wax figure shows, and it was kind of a spectacle. And majority of the people just thought it was a wax figure. They didn't know it was an actual human corpse. And then eventually it ended up painted and was used as a prop dummy in a Long Beach amusement fun house. Funny, but not funny. Now, not only the years, but the decades go by. This man's body is still making its way around the country. It is not until 1976 this corpse ends up on a movie set. And the guys working the set, the production crew, they realize that they're trying to make this body look a certain way. And one of his arms literally comes off. And they're like, oh shit. What? Exactly. What? Oh my God, this is a real human body. Holy cow. Hence why he's buried here, not until 1977. And the corpse that would never die. And if we look here, I'll turn the camera around. Playbill. The story of Elmer McCurdy, dead outlaw. Even became a musical. After that, they had to identify, go through the legal proceedings, but long story short, they confirmed that this is him. His remains were transported right here to Guthrie, Oklahoma, April 22nd, 1977. He was buried right here, Summit View Cemetery. And here he lies today. And what's crazy too is, listen to this one. To prevent his body from being stolen or displayed ever again, they poured 2 feet of concrete over the coffin right down there. Isn't that crazy? All right, let's go check out Mr. Bill Doolin. All right, next to Elmer. Bill Doolin, William Bill Doolin, 1858 and 1896. Killed August 25th, 1896, near Lawson, Oklahoma territory by Deputy United States Marshal Heck Thomas and Posse. That's a interesting name, Heck. Guess it wasn't too interesting back in the 1800s. But he's also got a boot. That's so cool. Only in Oklahoma. But Bill Doolin, just a couple fun facts. He was the founder of the Wild Bunch, or the Doolin Dalton Gang. 2 outlaws and 1 shot. So somewhere up here on Boot Hill Cemetery, there's a couple other old outlaws buried here. You guys are not going to believe this. You see, here, I'll turn around. You see 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know who the 4th one is. But these are the other flippin' outlaws. They're very tiny, meaning the headstones. But check this out. Right here, starting things off. His first name's Richard, but Little Dick West. I'm sorry, I can't get over that. I wonder why he was called that. You tell me. Actually, don't say that in the comments. YouTube won't like that. They're thinking we're being inappropriate here. I'm sorry, Little Dick. Hey man, that's your name. Little Dick West, killed April 13th, 1898. So he was a member of Bill Doolin's gang. Died April 13th, 1898 in Logan County, Oklahoma, not too far from here, after a confrontation with lawmen. Buried here. Then, who's next on my list? Charlie Pierce Desperado, killed by officers. Also rode with the Dalton Gang and the Doolin Gang. And it says on my sheet he was killed by bounty hunters, May 5th, 1895. 2 outlaws. Let's go see who's down here. Bert Casey. Wow, I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 for 5. Killed, oh gosh, if we can even see that, November 8th, 1902 by U.S. Marshals. Violent Oklahoma Territory outlaw responsible for thefts and several murders. Died in 1902. His body was unclaimed and buried here, Boot Hill Cemetery. In 1 shot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Old West Outlaws, buried all together right here in Guthrie, Oklahoma. If you like Old West stuff, Outlaws, all that fun jazz, guess what? I also have seen the grave of probably the most famous outlaw of all time, arguably, Jesse James. Did a video on his childhood home, his original grave. Then I went to the house he was living in when he was murdered, and I saw where he's laying to rest now with his parents and his wife. So if you want to go see that famous graves playlist, y'all, Boot Hill Cemetery with the Old West Outlaws by me. If you enjoyed, thumbs up. If you like this type of content, famous graves playlist, Bonnie and Clyde playlist, Dark History playlist, I hope you subscribe and go watch these next videos, and I'll see you there on the next one.